Newfoundland and Labrador is promising new legislation targeting people who share explicit photos of other people. It will allow victims to sue for damages or get a court order forcing the images to be removed. Peter Cowan joins us now from St. John's. Peter, thanks for joining us. Already a crime to share someone's photos without their consent, but what will this new law in Newfoundland and Labrador do?
Well, John, this is really a case of legislatures here at the House of Assembly keeping up with technology and the way people use it. Because, as you said, it is a criminal offense to share intimate photos that someone has sent you. But that process can be cumbersome for victims to go through that court proceedings. And at the end, the person can end up in jail. But that's not often what people are looking for as remedy. So one of the things they'll be able to do is go to a judge and say, I want a court order that forces that person to take the images offline, to destroy them. And so that's often one of the main things people are looking for. The other thing it allows is compensation. So the victim can actually get a judge to say, we're going to order that the person who put these images, that did this damage to you, actually has to pay for what they've done in this case. And this isn't the first province to do it. Alberta has a similar law, but the Justice Minister here in Newfoundland and Labrador says it really is time that these laws keep up with technology.
And you only have to hear one story of someone who had an image like this used against them. It's horrible. It's not just humiliating. It's not just embarrassing. It's devastating. You know, people have chosen to take their lives because of the repercussions of this. I mean, that says everything.
Stories involving sextings, of course, have made headlines right across the country. Peter, but remind us again how significant an issue sexting is in today's world.
Yeah, John, this is one of those things where there is a divide between the generations on this. A lot of older people are going, well, why would you even send intimate images when you know that they could be forwarded on, they could be posted? For a lot of young people, though, this is sort of the new part of dating. It's the next step after you send a few flirty texts to maybe send a few racy images to go along. And in fact, a survey earlier this year found for young people, 4 out of 10 had sent an intimate image of themselves. Now, the interesting part of that is of the people who'd sent intimate photos, 40% of them had had those images shared with other people. So the Justice Minister is saying part of this does need to be education to let people know, first of all, the repercussions of what can happen if you send images like this, but also tell people why it's important that these images not be shared. Sometimes it is malicious intent, what's called revenge porn, when someone is trying to get back at an ex, for example, but other times it's just a case of someone wanting to share something with their friends after they receive them. And so the Justice Minister is promising not just legislation here at the House of Assembly, but also an education campaign to let people know about the repercussions and try and prevent this from happening.
Thank you, Peter. Peter Cowan in St. John's.